Hey, it's Jason again with a gardening gear review, this time of the Growstar S600W LED grow light. I'd like to start the review by looking at the color of the light. There's a bit of a debate that goes on between the white looking full spectrum LEDs and the other ones which are more blurple, which is a mixture of blue and red light, making for quite a purple looking light. And you can often see a great difference in the way these render color. But which one is better? Well, the Growstar 600S takes a middle road, a hybrid, with two larger Cree COB LED chips in the center, looking a little more white, actually a little on the warm side of white at about 3000 Kelvin, and then a bunch of smaller surrounding LED chips to supplement the blue and purple colors. The effect on the color graph is that there are spikes in blue and red, but also that the lamp does provide light across the entire spectrum. I should also note the inclusion of two far red LEDs, which are often linked in research to the initiation of flowering. So which do I like better? The full spectrum looking white lights or the blurple lights? And I have to admit that for aesthetic reasons, I definitely prefer the full spectrum white looking lights. It makes it easier to assess the condition of your plants when you can see them in their natural color, green, rather than bathed in flat purple. Also, you can check for pests a lot easier when you have natural light to use. The argument for the spikes in the red and blue come down to the way those spectrums are supposed to affect plant growth and are best utilized for photosynthesis. I've attached a graph here to show how plants use, at least theoretically, light for photosynthesis, and you can see a big spike on the red end of the graph. So it's not like the argument is without merit. I'll let the lighting researchers do their work and argue this point. I'm going to try this out on my own plants in spring and see how it does compared to a white light. Next, let's talk about power consumption. I'm going to continue to argue for more truthful advertising of wattage. This one calls itself a 600 watt lamp. When I tested it from the wall and checked real closely in the manual, I can see that it actually consumes about 130 watts. So what's the deal with 600? What they've done in this case is they've taken the individual LED chips and their maximum power running capacity and totaled those up to reach 600, but that's not what the product is designed to do. The electronics inside are only designed to run at the 130. So there's no relationship between the 130 and 600. I'm pretty sure they've chosen the higher number just to make it sound like it's comparable with a more powerful lamp. Looking at the build of this light, I was very impressed. Taking it out of its packaging, it's a metal housing, it feels heavy and sturdy, but actually only weighs about 5 pounds. This one uses fans for cooling. Overall, I guess I prefer the passive cooling for the quiet and efficiency, but these fans are pretty quiet and the fixture does remain really cool during operation. Just for fun, I attached a temperature probe and logged the temps for a while, and it never exceeded 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And lower temps should extend the life of your LEDs. Now let's talk about the efficiency and coverage of the lamp. Because the color spectrum is quite skewed from natural white light, it makes no sense to talk about the efficiency in lumens per watt. It makes more sense to discuss the intensity in ppfd, which is a measurement of how much light is being produced for photosynthesis. The graphic from the manufacturer claims a ppfd of around 1000 micromoles at 12 inches from the foliage and 450 micromoles at 24 inches. I viewed another reviewer who used a par meter, and I'll say that those numbers are roughly accurate for the area directly under the center of the lamp. As the meter was positioned further from the center, though, the par dropped off quite quickly. This makes sense. With the placement of those two cobs near the center, they're going to overlap and create a hot spot at the center underneath the lamp. So just be aware that the plants at the center will definitely have to deal with higher light intensity, and the foliage at the edges won't quite get their fair share. For context, plants with high light needs and growing in the flowering stage are happiest when they have between 600 and 900 ppfd. To achieve this intensity with the Growstar 600S, it'll be best to maintain a height at just above 12 inches, and even then, to be cautious of the hot spot at the center. As an overall summary, this is a budget-friendly grow lamp, and there are some things I really like about it. The large full-spectrum Cree COB LEDs make this a more well-rounded color profile than the purely red, blue, or blurple LED grow lamps. The build is solid, the fans are quiet, and it runs cool. It can definitely put out a good amount of light, and just be careful about that high intensity at the center. For under $100, this is a good budget lamp if you don't want to go up to the $150 range. Alright, that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching today, and if you have any questions, please leave those below the video.